This is going to be a relatively short update, so if you enjoy this, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content. I do appreciate it. We are at over 107,000 subs, but a lot of people are not seeing our more recent uploads. For some reason, the YouTube algorithm has kind of boxed this channel into a specific spot where a lot of stuff just isn't shown anymore. So if you want to see our uploads, please be sure to check out our new Discord server. That is in the description down below. Every single upload on both of our channels actually does pop up as a notification there, and this is a really cool place to hang out, make friends, and talk to people about stuff that we all like. Now, here's the thing. I do want to talk about Gotham Knights, and I do also want to talk about the gameplay for Nightwing and Red Hood. I really do, and maybe I will release a more in-depth video on that soon. I know that a lot of other quality YouTubers are covering that, and I think that's awesome. However, what I want to talk about today is something that was revealed in the new update from WB, which really frustrated me, despite the fact that it doesn't affect me. And that's the fact that the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions of this game have unceremoniously just been dropped. They have been canned. They are not coming out, which is really odd to me, especially because the whole point of the Xbox Series X and S especially has been kind of pushing developers to still release a lot of stuff playable on Xbox One so that players can then eventually upgrade, still have their progress, still be able to play a better version of the game, but they are able to sell it more uniformly across the Xbox player base as a platform, right? Not just as a specific plastic box. Now, PlayStation has been a little bit less into that whole thing. Obviously, there are PlayStation 4 and 5 discs that are separate, but, they've done a really good job of making, essentially, PlayStation 4 games playable on the PS5, so they've been kind of doing their own thing with that. What's odd to me, though, is that when this game was originally announced, when Gotham Knights was originally announced, we did find out things like, it's not in the Arkham universe, we did find out things like, here's the systems it's launching on. And one of the selling points of this game, especially over Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, was that it was still launching on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One consoles. Now, people at the time said, hey, you know what? I hope that doesn't hold the game back at all, because that hardware is a little bit older now, but that makes complete sense. Okay, fair enough. And it'll obviously be a slightly not as technically impressive version so that people can play it on those consoles, which there's still nothing wrong with. I play PS4 games all the time. Now we get to today, we get to May of 2022, after this game has been pushed back, after this game went radio silent for months at a time with really no updates, given partially because of the pandemic and partially because of who knows what else. I'm just going to assume it's all that, with like 2 different marketing stunts kind of having been started and stopped during that time. We're just at the point now where this just seems douchey. I don't really know what else to say about it. Now, Jay, you're butthurt because you won't be able to play the game. No, I have an Xbox Series X, and I have a PS5, and I have a gaming PC. That's not a humble brag. Like, video games are part of my job. Now, the majority of my job is editing shit all day, but I'm being serious. It's part of my job. So I bought these consoles. I went out of my way to get them because I had the money to put into it to get them. This is not something that's going to affect me and stop me from being able to play Gotham Knights if I want to. What it is going to do, though, is piss a lot of people off. And it was also very, very brushed under the rug. In this whole update, which is over 13 minutes, it's kind of just thrown in there in a one-line thing about how to provide players with the best experience, this game will just be launching on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. And I guess what frustrates me about this is that there have already been all of these delays, there has already been all of these problems with this game, and a lot of us who are excited for, just Bat family content in general, right? Like people like me, who are excited to see a game where characters like Nightwing, Robin, Red Hood, and Batgirl can shine. And for me, especially Batgirl and Red Hood, because I think that they are often overlooked too much. To see characters like that really get to shine and get a gameplay experience, it's really cool. And for, thousands at minimum of players who were excited to play this game on PS5 and on PS4 and Xbox One, who that's, what they still have, to just kind of be told, well, by the way, the game you've been looking for since we revealed it all the way back, we revealed it like way, way, way back, and you were looking forward to it. Well, sorry, now you can't play it. It just seems kind of ridiculous. Like, this kind of feels almost like the Don Matrick type levels of douchiness, where it's like, oh, by the way, we have a console for people who don't want to connect to the internet. It's called the Xbox 360. It's kind of like that, where I don't see the point of this. It's very unceremonial. It was very disrespectfully conveyed, in my opinion. And I think that it's gotta be one of the biggest mistakes of this game. Because yes, plenty of people do have the Series console, and plenty of people do have the PlayStation 5 console. But if you look at the install bases for these things, there are a lot of places where those are still hard to get. I know, for example, in my area, if I were to try and get an Xbox Series X right now, or a PlayStation 5 right now, the cheapest I can get either of them for is about $700 resold from somebody on Facebook Marketplace or eBay. That's it. That's on the cheap end, by the way. It still ranges up to, $800-900 a lot of the times because of parts shortages on the parts of the console manufacturers and the entire shipment distribution delays, and the fact that a lot of places are still short-staffed, which you can blame on all kinds of different things, whether it be the fact that a lot of people lost their jobs during the pandemic, a lot of people quit their jobs during the pandemic and found different ones, all kinds of stuff, right, that disrupted everything. And so a lot of people this whole time who are fans of the Bat family, this was kind of the thing they were looking forward to. They were looking forward to The Batman, they were looking forward to Gotham Knights, and they were looking forward to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And those fans who are stuck on the Xbox One or PS4, again, no knocking on that console, but that's kind of just where they're at, who don't have that much money, $500 at the absolute minimum, and that's without tax. I'm assuming somebody stole the console, to, $900 to upgrade consoles right now, especially after a pretty bad time in the United States economy at the very least. Those people didn't even have Suicide Squad to look forward to. What they had was the Batman movie and Gotham Knights. The Batman movie has come and gone. Great movie. Highly recommend you check it out. Posted 2 reviews. And now, so has Gotham Knights. That's it. These were kind of like the 3 big tentpole releases that a lot of fans were excited for. It's also worth mentioning that we are at the point now where this game has been in development at minimum for years and has been developed around cross-generational play in terms of PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. That is how game development works. I'm sure you guys know that in the audience, but for anyone who doesn't, games are not developed overnight. This game was already developed for PS4 and Xbox One and has been for a long, long time. And if anything, you can say, well, maybe the inclusion of those consoles held back development originally, and maybe it made it harder to make an impressive game on all consoles because they had to both do old technology and new technology. Sure, you can say that, but here's the problem. We're at the point of no return. The game is 6 months out, basically. We are at the point where it doesn't matter. Right? It's already been developed around that. And I ask you the question, what are you going to change in 6 months that's going to fundamentally make this game a better and more impressive experience now that you have designed it around cross-generational accessibility and then removed cross-generational accessibility? Yes, maybe cross-generational accessibility would have slowed down development. Maybe it would have made the next-gen versions less impressive. Sure, that's something you look at in the drawing board or in the first year and then you scrap them. You don't do it within the year of release because it's not going to make enough changes to the overall product to actually make it that much better or more impressive. It just doesn't work that way. Here's the thing. I've said this 100 times. I've said it so many times, you're probably tired of hearing it. If you want to target next or now current gen hardware, right? And you want to make your game specifically for that, awesome. That's me clapping, not doing something naughty under the desk, but awesome. More power to you. That's great. You know your demographic that you're aiming at, and I'm assuming that the reason you did that was to provide the best gameplay experience. However, if for like over a year, you are basically promising an entire other set of players that experience, and then you yank it away from them last minute within the release year, because this is now slated to launch on October 25th of this year, right? That is in about 5 months. So you pull it less than 6 months before the release and say, by the way, fuck off. Politely, though. I don't really understand this decision. I was originally going to cover all the gameplay stuff, and you know what? Maybe I still will soon. But this just kind of kneecapped some of my interest in this. I'm sure that, and you know what? Like, call me a hypocrite, whatever. Again, some of this stuff is part of my job. A lot of the stuff I cover is superheroes. A lot of the stuff I cover is science fiction, pop culture. I have a Let's Play channel, Degenerate Plays, shameless self-promotion. It's in the description. I'm pretty sure I'll still be playing this game, at the very least because my wife really wants to, because she's a huge Batgirl fan. But for people like us, who have those consoles, it's not as much of an issue. What pisses me off is when you're jerking around entire demographics of your fan base, and then basically telling them politely piss off. I don't understand this. I don't get how this isn't getting even more coverage and more people aren't annoyed about it. I feel like I'm almost more annoyed about it and it doesn't even affect me. It just feels like a really, really poor decision on top of a lot of other poor decisions that's really going to make a lot of people less interested in this game that a lot of people were already heavily critical of and not that interested in. There's other stuff I can knock from this trailer, but at the end of the day, or promote and say is cool, and maybe I still will, but I don't really want to talk about it today other than this. It just really frustrated me, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts down below. Please be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more content. I really, really hate this kind of stuff. I know that you can say these people are not entitled to the experience of Gotham Knights or whatever, it's a consumer product, but when you basically promise it and then remove it less than 6 months to launch, it's just such a bad look, and it looks really unprofessional. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Please be sure to check out the description down below. We have our secondary channel, Degenerate Plays, where we do play through a wide variety of games, have fun hanging out with you. And we do have that new Discord server where we like to make friends, hang out, and talk. And on top of that, we also do have a lot of ways to support the channel if you're interested, including Patreon with access to exclusive videos, and a wonderful Etsy shop run by my wife where she makes jewelry and all kinds of other stuff, phone charms and things for people of all ages and backgrounds. We appreciate your support. Have a fantastic day. And as always, everyone, stay shui.